All right, Doc D, and this is for class on November 6th, Friday, November 6th, 2020. And we're going to do some Microsoft Access stuff, and I'll give you a caveat to this right up front that Microsoft Access can be very quirky at times. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a database. We're going to have 4 different tables. Those tables will be a My Classes table, which would be populated by your information, and we'll go through all that stuff. There'll be a Professor table, which lists specific information for professors, and then there'll be also a table for days of the week and hours of the day. And there's different ways that you can do this, but try to do something that's fairly simplistic. Set this up earlier and was having a lot of troubles getting it to do exactly what I want, and so I contribute part of that to Access being rather clunky, and part of it being that I don't play in this all that often. I am not necessarily a database guru. I can do some things. We'll put it at that. All right, so let's go. We're going to open up Access 2016. And we're going to create a blank desktop database, and we're going to name this Taylor Courses. I don't know, Taylor Courses, something like that. All right, create. Okay, so let's talk about what we have here. Over on the left-hand side is our list of objects that we have in this database, right? And as of right now, we have a generic table 1 and nothing else. And if you look, we have a tab here that has table 1, and there's just really nothing in it as of right now. All right. If we go over here, we have the option of doing a data sheet view, which is what we're in now, or a design view. All right, and so when I click on design view, then it's going to click up this little thing, and it's going to say, hey, do you want to name this table? If not, and it already populates with a default table 1, and then it'll go table 2, table 3, table 4, table 5, so forth and so on. So let's start off with something easy. We'll go ahead and start off with a professor's table. All right, so I'm going to name that, and I'm going to click OK. All right, and I'm going to go to my view, and I'm going to go to design view, which is, we're already in design view, dummy. All right, so if we look over here, we have a primary key, which we should do. All right, and for right now, I'm just going to do an auto number, but this would literally be, if you look at your Taylor ID, each person has a unique ID number to them, and so this would be that unique ID number, right? And so what that means, what that does is that when we're creating this table and we're populating this table, and so maybe we have 2 professors that are named John Smith. So because there's a unique ID between those 2, we can actually differentiate between them. Otherwise, it can get very confusing, and you're going to get erroneous data. All right. Okay, so let's see. Field name, auto number. Yeah, we'll leave that go. All right. And so this, again, this key thing is really important in databases in that it sets up so that you can have multiple fields that are essentially are the same, other than that unique ID. All right. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to create a new field, and so we're going to do first underscore name. All right, and then in my lecture the other day I talked about different data types, right? And so our data types, just like in computer programming, we have strings, we have numbers, we have a lot of different data types, right? And so I got a drop down menu here, and so we have short text, long text, number, date time, currency, auto number, a logical yes no, OLE object, I'm not really sure what that is. A hyperlink, if we wanted to be able to link to something outside of the database. An attachment, a calculator, meaning that it does some type of calculation with an algorithm that we determine, and a lookup wizard. All right, and so for this, we're just going to use the short text. It allows, if you look down here, it gives you the general information about that particular thing. And so it has a field size of 255 characters. That'll be plenty for a first name. All right, and so I'm just going to click that short text, and then I'll click down below. So now, of course, we're going to do last name, last underscore name. All right, and so I'm doing my naming conventions in computerese, if you will. All right, especially when you get into Linux or Unix operating systems, when you name stuff with spaces in it, it creates a lot of ripple effect problems, and so everything should be connected. And I could have just went first name, last name with no spaces, but instead I did the underscore. Naming conventions are important as we get further into computer science type stuff. As here, it really would make no difference, but it is what it is. Okay, first name, last name. We'll do office number, office underscore number, and we're going to use the short text. The reason I don't use a number for that is that so my office number is Euler, EU000, right? And so if I had number on there, it would not accept the EU prefix. All right, let's see, phone number, phone underscore number. All right, and I'm going to use short text for that one as well, because I'm likely I'm not going to be doing any calculations with this, right? All I'm going to be doing is a lookup, possibly doing a lookup to grab their phone number. All right, I'm not going to be doing any calculations with it or anything like that. So short text makes it a string character, which will display appropriately. And just like on this ID, if I were going to manually populate those, i.e., I'm going to actually write down somebody's Taylor ID number, instead of auto number, I would probably go ahead and put that as a short text. Because if I use number, if I use the number designation there, right? And let's say that I wanted to start with some leading zeros, 0, 0, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. It would strip off those leading zeros, right, which can create issues for us. So data types are important. If we get the wrong data type, things don't work right. All right, and then we're going to do an email. All right, and I think I'm probably just going to go ahead and use that as a hyperlink. All right, and yay us. We have created our first table. All right, now, yes, okay, so it didn't actually save it yet, but now I'm wanting to access this table, and it's saying, oh, did you want to save that? And yes, we do. All right, so now I'm going in here and I'm opening up the table, and we can see that we have our information across the top, and it looks like spacing is actually good. And then we could actually modify and add stuff to this if we wanted to. All right, but for right now we're not. So again, I have two different views. Right now we're in the datasheet view. All right, and then the thing that we created it in was the design view. All right, and so things are easier to do in usually one screen or another, and actually some things you can't do in one screen versus another. All right, so there we go. There's our first table. Let's go ahead and create another table. And we're going to create a table, and this one I'm not going to, let's see, oops, All right, let's go to design view on that. And so now let's name it. Let's call it days of the week. All right, so there's our days of the week. And I'm going to leave that there for the moment, but I'm going to come back and delete it. All right, and so we're going to start with Monday, data type, short text, yep. Tuesday, data type, short text. Wednesday, whoops. Data type, short text. Thursday, data type, short text. Friday, and on down to Saturday and Sunday. All right, and so this is a table that we can reference. We can specify a relationship from one table to another, and so I think this will become a little bit more apparent as we start developing this complete database. And the goal here today is to get the database established, and I'm doing this lecture before class simply because the quality of what you see here will be a lot better than if I were broadcasting on the screen. And secondly, I can kind of think a little better here when I'm not trying to balance 14 or 15 people in class and answer questions and think clearly and all that good stuff. Okay, so there we go. So now we have a table of days of the week, right? Great. So let's go back here and let's create another table. All right, and so we're going to go to design view on that, and we're going to call this one hours of the day. All right, yay. Oh, did I? No. All right, so because I didn't say that, it just deleted it. Yeah, so I'm going to delete this one for right now. All right, and there's a reason that I did that, and we'll get into that a little later. But for right now, got that. All right, let's go back to this, and let's go back to design view. All right, and then let's just do. We're going to do military time. Actually, no, I don't want to do military time. I want to do. And I think that we'll call this date time. Yeah. Alright, we're going to do 9 o'clock. And I'm just going to populate these, and then I'll go back through and change those. And I'm not going to build, well, actually, yeah, I will. I'm going to go ahead and build all of it. And then I'm going to go with military time here for a reason. You know what? I think I am going to use short text on those. I think so. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. All right. For those of you not familiar with military time, from basically midnight on, it looks like what we normally see as time, right? Which is 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. All right. Military time is set up on a 24-hour clock period. And so after 12 o'clock, we just continue adding hours. So 1 o'clock would be 1300, 2 o'clock would be 1400, all the way up until 2400 would be midnight. And then it starts over at 0. So at 12:01 would be 0, 0001. All right, so for those of you who are not familiar, and yeah, I am going to use short text on that. I think it'll work out better. It might not. We'll see. All right, and we'll leave it at that. All right, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to delete that row again because I don't necessarily need it on here. There's no duplication of data on there. All right. Okay, so now what I've got is I have 3 different tables. So I've got days of the week, all right, which has fields of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have hours of the day, which has 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's turn view, design view. I don't know why that has. All right. Okay. So anyhow, so we have values in here, and we're going to be able to pull up those values from another screen. All right. So now we're going to create one more table, but before I do that, I am going to populate some information in here for the professor. And I'm planning on lecturing on this for 25 to 30 minutes because in class I know that as I help people, I'm not going to get, if I get all 4 of these done, it'll be great, but it's probably not going to happen. All right, so here we are, we're in Professor, and so let's go ahead and populate it. Okay, so I can't do anything with that because it's an auto number. Remember when we set that up? Let's go to Design View. So that's auto number, so I can't override it. It's just going to pre-populate that with numbers, and so I can't do anything with that. So let's go back to Datasheet View. All right, and so let's start putting some information in here. Steve Alcher, EU 000. All right, and so look at that. It took that. Now let's go back and let's escape out of that. Let's go back here to Professor, and let's go to Design View, and let's change office number to a number. All right. Now let's go. Yep, I do want to save. Okay, so now let's do Steve Doucher. All right. Uh-oh, we got a 0 in there already. EU 000. All right. Oh, what happened? Okay, so again, just like I said the other day, data types matter, and they matter a lot. All right, so it's not going to let me do that because that doesn't match what it's expecting. All right, so let's go back to Design View on this. Yeah, okay, I got it. View, Design View. All right, so let's change this then to a short text. All right, and then let's go to Datasheet View. It asked me to save. Yep, I want to save it. All right. Now, okay. All right, 000. Okay, and then phone number, I don't even know what my office phone number is, 998-4360, I think. All right, oops. All right, now again, if I'd had this set up as a number, all right, what it would do is it would do the subtraction, right? It would do 765 minus 998 and then minus 4360, and so it wind up with being just a negative number instead of an actually formatted phone number, right? All right, so Stephen _ Doucher at Taylor.edu. All right, and you notice that created actually a hyperlink. Mail to Stephen _ Doucher at Taylor.edu. Ooh, look at that. That's fancy. All right, but we can't see this whole thing, so I'm going to go ahead and just like in Excel, and really, that's what this is. It's a little Excel sheet, right? That's exactly what it is, a little Excel sheet. And so, all right, it took that and it liked it. Yay! All right, so now we're going to go, let's see, Stefan Brandel, EU 222A, I think. I have no idea what his office number is. Call it that. All right, and this is S. Brandel at cse.taylor.edu. All right, and then let's do, we'll do John Denning, G, EU 222B. I have no idea what his number is. 998-0001. Sure, whatever. John _ Denning at taylor.edu. All right, so now we've got some actual data in each of our tables, right? All right, so let's go days of the week. We actually have some stuff in here. And you know what? I think I made that wrong. Yeah, I did. View, design view, field name. Yeah, I made those wrong. All right, let me figure this out, and then we will come back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see, are we recording? Yep, we're recording. Okay, so yeah, all right. Yes, I did format that incorrectly, and so delete all this stuff. And when I get done here, you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. Delete row. Delete row. Delete row. All right, so this is going to be time. So we're going to call it military time. Because, yeah. All right. So now I'm going to go to the data sheet view of that. Yes, I do want to save that. Yeah, okay. And so I'm going to go, and all those were short text. So 0800, 0900, 1000, 1100, 1200, 1300, 1400. 1500, 1600, 1700, 1800, and we'll just finish it out because why not? 2100, oops, not 21,000, 2200, which is 10 o'clock, 2300, and then 2400. All right, sweet. All right, so go up here to the days of the week, and I just did the same thing. If we look at the design view of that, so I have a field name day, and then when I go to the data sheet view, I have all this. All right, and so that's you're probably thinking, well, why in the world did he create all of this stuff before we're actually creating the database that we want, which would be my classes? All right, because we are going to be referencing information from each of these tables, right? And so if I don't have them already created, it just makes it a little more complicated to get it all and get it right, and I have to go back and establish relationships and blah blah blah. So all right, well, let's go ahead and create a table, and let's go to design view, and we are going to call this my_classes. Yeah, all right, good deal. All right, so we'll leave that as is. All right, and so we're going to do course name, course underscore name, because that's how we've been doing it. We're going to use that as an auto text, and I'm going to put over here an example. Introduction to systems. Introduction to systems. And I even spelled stuff right. That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Course name, course number, underscore number. Example. Okay. Sys 101. I've been playing with this for a little bit. I had a couple different ways that I called that. I think I had course. I don't remember what I called it earlier, but it was something different. All right, we're going to have course ID. Underscore ID. All right. And again, I'm just going to do that. And so, example would be 0001234. I don't know. That's a unique course ID, and we would actually want to make this one the primary key, all right, which means that we can delete this. All right, because each course has a unique ID, right? When you go to register, it's going to ask you for the course ID for that particular course, and that selects that particular course. Say there's 16 sections of History 101. All right, each section has a unique course ID. Okay, all right, so I think you get it. Let's see, course ID, department. We're going to use short text. An example would be systems. Because we love systems. We all love systems. All right, now here we go. Instructor. All right, so short text. Now, if I put it as short text, then it would allow me to actually fill that in. But here is the power of having a database. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to lookup wizard. I want to look up field to get the values from another table or query. Yep, that's exactly what I want. Now I could override that and say, yeah, I can just go back to that where I want to type in the values that I want, but that's not what I want to do. So I want to go to professors, next, and I am going to just select the last name. And I can do ascending or descending order. We'll just go with that. Yep. All right. Yes. All right. Okay. So that's that. So that's going to create a drop-down menu. All right. All right. What's the next one? I'm going to do day of the week. Days. Underscore of underscore week. All right, and so we're going to do another, and so we're going to look at look up wizard. All right, yep, same thing. I want to get the values from another table. This is why we created those other tables first. What are we doing here? Days of the week. From table, days of the week. Yep, you betcha. All right, and so, yep. All right, and next, ascending. All right, and so there's the options that will populate. All right, and finish. Sweet. Yes, I want to save. All right, now, so days of the week, let's do a start time. Start, spelled correctly, underscore time. All right, we're going to do another lookup here. Lookup wizard. Yep, same value. We want to look from another table. And so we're going to go here to hours of the day. Next. All right, And so available field is military time. Yep. All right. Sending is fine. And so this is what our drop down is going to populate with, right? And finish. And yes, I want to save it. All right. Now let's do end underscore time. All right. And so again, we're going to now watch this. So look up wizard. Next. Hours of the day. We're going back to that very same table. All right, here's where we're saving duplication of effort, because we've got one table that has the hours of the day in it, right? And so we're going to go and pull from that multiple times. All right, hours of the day. Next, military time. Over. If you've got multiple things down here, you can use the double arrows, and it'll throw everything over. A lot of times, you'll have a whole bunch of stuff over here, and you want most of it, and so it's easier just to flip it all over there and then come over here and select the individuals and throw them back. All right, selective fishing. All right, next. There's what's going to show, and finish. Yes, we want to save. Okay, so that gives us a start. That gives us 4 tables, and we are going to then build on that next week, because I'm right at 30 minutes of recording right now, and I hopefully will get this done within the class period today. Doc D out. I hope you have a great day.